guys, and welcome to another episode of Science with Miss Reese. Today is a special Circus Science edition where I show you that science really is in every little thing that we do. And you guys are going to come follow me on my circus adventures as I show you some really cool physics in my everyday life. Okay, so before we hop on any equipment, let's talk about some of the things I use and the physics behind them that keep me safe while performing tricks. So the first one is the lyra, and it looks kind of like a hula hoop that hangs from the ceiling, and the second one are the silks, which are pieces of fabric that are also tied to the ceiling. Well, they're rigged to the ceiling. The aerial equipment that I use has to hold approximately about a ton of weight, which is a little over 2,000 pounds. Now that's way more than I weigh. So why does it need to hold so much? Well, it comes down to a little bit of physics, so I want you to keep this equation in mind. Force equals the mass times acceleration. Sound familiar? Yeah, that's Newton's second law. So basically, when I'm falling, I accelerate due to gravity. Gravity causes an object to fall towards the ground at a faster and faster velocity, and the longer the object falls, my weight is being increased. So it's increasing about 9.8 meters per second squared, if you want to know the fancy physics behind it. So basically when I fall, I'm becoming heavier. Not actually, but the aerial equipment needs to be able to hold way more than just my mass. It's really important that it can hold like a ton of weight so that when you fall, it can support those drops. I've seen aerialists who can generate up to 10 times their body weight due to the acceleration of a move that they're falling into. So 1 ton keeps you safe, and it's a safety factor in it so that nothing breaks due to any momentum that I'm gathering when I drop. I say drop, not fall, because it's on purpose. So that's super important, and that's the first thing that we have to keep in mind when we're talking about the physics. Okay, hold your horses. We're forgetting something. Speaking of holding, I was going to tell you a joke about friction, but I knew you wouldn't let it slide. You get it? Slide, because we're talking about friction. Okay, no. So anyways, friction is a force that resists motion when the surface of one object comes in contact with another object. So basically, friction is the force that works against motion but also helps motion. So it can be an aerialist's best friend or worst enemy, depending on what they're trying to do. But fear not, we aerialists have certain tools of the trade that help us fight friction and also work with it. So let's check some of those out. First tool we have is an anti-slip spray. I use Firm Grip, which is basically a spray that helps us hold on to super slippery surfaces. Yikes, try saying that 3 times fast. When there's just not enough friction between our hands and the apparatus. The second thing to take a look at is the apparatus you're using. For example, in lyra, there are lots of different types of lyras you can use. Some have tape and some don't. And they help provide various levels of friction, depending on if you're trying to do a more slidey skill or a skill that you want to make sure you have a firm grip on.
This is the moment you've waited for. You've been searching in the dark, your sweat soaking through the floor. And buried in your bones, there's an ache that you can't ignore. Taking your breath, stealing your mind, and all that was real is left behind. Don't fight it, it's coming for you, running at you. It's only this moment, don't care what comes after. Your fever dream, can't you see, getting closer to surrender, cause you feel the feeling taking